Hello, good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Roger Johnson. Thank you for your company on this Monday evening. Our top story, a living nightmare. The parents whose daughters were murdered in the Southport attack address the public inquiry. The girls' mums called for truth, accountability and change on a day of powerful testimony. Also tonight, Ricky Hatton's family pays an emotional tribute as the boxing legend receives widespread acclaim following his death.
Everyone just loved him, he didn't walk around with no security, he didn't walk around with no bodyguards or nothing, he was just one of the lads. He was a people's champion.
Haaland sends City soaring as problems build for United after another derby demolition.
The Emmy goes to Owen Cooper. I love him.
The night the adolescent came of age, Warrington teenager Owen Cooper becomes the youngest male actor to win an Emmy Award.
Standing up here is just, wow, it's just so surreal. Honestly, when I started these drama classes a couple of years back, I didn't expect to be even in the United States, never mind here.
And it's a blustery start to the week. Jan pictured this photo on the Wirral. Dark clouds, heavy rain, strong winds. Is it going to last throughout the week? Join me at the end of the programme. I'll give you all the details.
The opening phase of the Southport inquiry had what could be a seminal moment today. Statements from the parents of the three children who were murdered, Alice Aguirre, Elsie Stankham and BB King. When they attended a summer holiday class in July last year, they lost their lives. Their parents called for truth, accountability and change, saying that no other child, family or community should suffer what has happened to them. Jonas Muller sent this from the public inquiry at Liverpool Town Hall.
Well, listening to the parents of the three children who were murdered in Southport last year, you could hear the pain in their voices and how their lives have been completely devastated. The parents of Elsie Stankham, who was 7, BB King, who was 6, and Alice Aguirre, who was 9, arrived at Liverpool Town Hall together to give powerful victim impact statements to the Southport inquiry. We heard from Jenny Stankham first, who spoke on behalf of herself and her husband David. She described her daughter Elsie. She said that she was our joy, our pride, our everything, the heart of our family. She said that life was simple but perfect in every way. But we could also sense the guilt that she feels over what has happened. She said, I go over the events of that day, the weekend before every day, and wish more than anything I had made different decisions, but I didn't. David and I often ask ourselves, what have we done so wrong in life to deserve this life of pain? We also heard from Alice Aguirre's parents who spoke through a legal representative. They said that Alice was everything to us. She was our world. She said the guilt of taking her there and leaving her there is unimaginable. I cannot express myself in words what I feel about that day, but as you can imagine, it's utter devastation. And we also heard from Lauren King, BB King's mother, who struggled repeatedly to read that statement in front of her. She described her daughter in 3 simple words. She said that her daughter was joyful, hilarious and magical. She also spoke of the need for answers from the Southport inquiry. She said no statement, no report, no apology will ever bring BB back, but this inquiry cannot become another box-ticking exercise, and she wants the truth. Elsie's mother also said the issue runs much deeper than the weapon that was used. Is about the root causes, the drive, the intent and the series of failures that allowed it to happen. This inquiry will resume tomorrow. Jonas Muller, BBC North West Tonight, Liverpool.
Right, here are some of the other stories that are making headlines in the North West tonight, and 2 of the region's hospital trusts are going to be part of a national investigation into maternity care. Blackpool Teaching Hospitals is one of 11 trusts being reviewed for the quality and safety of services, while the Morecambe Bay Trust, which runs 3 hospitals, has been included to show how things can improve. It faced a major review after the deaths of 16 babies and 3 mothers at Furness General more than a decade ago. A man in his 40s has died after he was hit by a falling tree branch in the early hours of this morning. He's believed to have been homeless and was sleeping in a tent at Revo Park in Blackpool. Strong winds have brought disruption to train services in parts of the region. Services between Wigan and Prescott are being affected by overhead line issues. A tree is on the line between Blackburn and Bolton, and Blackpool trams have stopped between Stargate and the Tower. Kay will have the forecast for us at the end of the programme. Richard had a heart as big as his smile. To his family, this man was a son, a father, a grandfather and a brother. To the rest of us, he was Ricky, a boxer, who inspired people both inside and outside the ring. Tens of thousands, often without tickets, spent their hard-earned wages to follow him across the world. A kid from Stockport who became a two-weight world champion. There has been shock and sadness at his death yesterday at the age of 46. There is only one Ricky Hatton, many people have said, as Anna Jameson reports.
It's the news that has stunned the boxing world. Ricky the Hitman Hatton, gone at just 46.
The things that happened to me is not normal life, that.
I couldn't believe how strong he was.
Born on the Hattersley estate in Hyde, Hatton won 45 of his 48 professional bouts during his 15-year career.
As a kid, so you just see him turn up at events and stuff, and he was just ruthless. Honestly, as a 13, 14, 15, well, all the way through his life, but at that particular age, it was unheard of for the way he was beating his opponents as a teenager.
His signature win came in 2005 when he defeated Costa Tszyu to capture the IBF light welterweight title.
He changed the face of British boxing. He had 12 close to sellouts at the MEN. He made that his home, his citadel. And he became the kid who was born on a council estate, raised in a pub, and it ended up taking over 70,000 people to Las Vegas for a series of fights. As he admitted, he wasn't the best British boxer in history, but he was, without doubt, the most popular British boxer in history.
The amount of fans that he had that went over to Las Vegas was unbelievable. 70,000, and they were all nearly local.
Some of them put their houses up, didn't they?
Yeah. But that defeat by Floyd Mayweather in 2007 and Manny Pacquiao in 2009 left him deeply depressed, leading to the darkest times of his life.
He's inspired me in many ways, and I get him also sometimes, like when he talks about the mental health part, like to be fair, if I'm not in the gym, like I feel depressed also, so I get his bit, you know what I mean? But he's not just inspired me, he's inspired many young people.
A loyal Manchester City fan, a minute's applause was held before yesterday's Manchester derby at the Etihad Stadium. A 10-bell salute rang out at the World Boxing Championships at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool. And tributes have been pouring in from all over the world. Fellow City fan Liam Gallagher posted absolutely devastated to hear the news about Ricky Hatton. It was an absolute honour to know him and carry his belts. On Instagram, Tyson Fury said RIP to the legend Ricky Hatton. May he rest in peace. There will only ever be one Ricky Hatton. And his kindness showed even just a couple of days ago.
The minute these bullies see you've got a little bit of confidence, they'll leave you alone. So I think you've done the right thing, mate.
A man of the people, a Manc through and through, and a phenomenal fighter. There really will only ever be one Ricky Hatton. Anna Jameson, BBC North West Tonight in Manchester.
Anthony Kroll is a former world lightweight champion. More importantly, Anthony, you're a good friend of Ricky's. He was a huge influence on your career, and thank you for coming in, and our condolences to you and all Ricky's friends.
He's your childhood hero, who then, at some point in your career, promotes you, and then becomes a mate. It's they say sometimes about never meeting your hero, but that obviously wasn't the case with Ricky Hatton. And yeah, there's so many people. He was one of the biggest influences ever on British boxing, and it's a huge loss.
Anna mentioned in her report, and we're going to hear in a minute from Richard Askham, who went to Las Vegas a couple of times.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that 70,000 people paid to get on a plane to go there without a ticket is crazy.
It is crazy, and I think Ricky often would say, like, his biggest achievement, it wasn't the belts, it was the fan base, and just like she said at the end there, I think there only ever will be one Ricky Hatton, without a doubt. There'll be no one else like him. That I don't believe that'll ever happen again. The support he took over, it was surreal. But I think that was because of the kind of person he was. He was like Jack the Lad, wasn't he? I think he gave a lot of people. They felt like he was similar to them, and he was him, like, just sort of at the highest of highs around the world. And yeah, I can't see it ever being matched ever again.
Humble.
Very humble, like I say, and I think Ricky, like you say, he'd rather be in his local rather than in some bougie bar somewhere or something like that. He was a man of the people. And
as we mentioned, I mean, we don't know yet the cause of Ricky's death. He did have some tough times, but he also tried to help other people as well, and that was an important part of what he was trying to do as a legacy.
Of course he did, and listen, I think Ricky as a boxer, like, he inspired a generation, you know, not just every young man, lad, I think every young fighter around the UK wanted to be like Ricky Hatton, but he would have got so many young lads and girls into a boxing gym, probably stopped them going down the wrong path. So he saved many lives like that, but he arguably saved more lives with how he spoke about mental health and depression and stuff, because once he spoke out, it would encourage other people to then speak out as well. So, you know, on both sides of it, Ricky Hatton was so much more than just a boxer.
Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it, and our thoughts with you and the rest of the boxing community at the loss of Ricky. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony Crolla there, former lightweight world champion. North West Tonight reported on Ricky Hatton here and abroad as he became one of boxing's global superstars. As Anthony was saying, he fought several times in Las Vegas, as we mentioned, where he was followed by tens of thousands of fans. And Richard Askham, who you'll remember as our sports presenter for many years, was there for most of those memorable fights. Richard interviewed Ricky countless times and knew him pretty well. And I spoke to Richard a little earlier.
He was such a warm, open person, and I felt that personality the first time I went into the gym that he trained in, the Phoenix gym near where he lived. And, you know, he was such a big personality. His weigh-ins, there were 10,000 people watching his weigh-ins. They were like rock concerts. They were like, you know, they were like football crowds. It was absolutely astonishing. And the thing that I remember about him as well is that he never forgot to thank his fans. He would always thank the supporters for coming, and he meant it. You know, he had great sincerity as well. And even in defeat, people would stay in the arena and keep chanting his name. It was almost like he'd won. Yeah, I mean, people really loved Ricky Hatton. You know, they followed him because he was an amazing boxer. Let's not forget, Roger, he won world titles at 2 different weights. He was an astonishing fighter, but he was a person who people could connect with. He was down to earth. He loved his comedy. He bought one of the yellow Reliant Robins, didn't he, from Only Fools and Horses, which was his favourite comedy. I remember going to his house once to interview him there and seeing that it was called Heartbreak Hotel, because he was such a big Elvis Presley fan as well. But he would include us all. He used to say to me sometimes, his little joke with me was he'd say, "Hello, Titch, I mean Rich." But he had that sort of thing for all of us. And I also remember something. I was chatting to the veteran boxing correspondent Steve Bunce earlier, and we both remember this, that the American reporters, when they were interviewing him, they didn't really know how to handle Ricky, because he was this, you know, down-to-earth, rough and ready Mancunian. But he would say things for the British press to make us laugh. And one of the things he would do, if he was asked, "What sort of a fight is this going to be, do you think, Ricky?" he would say, "Well, I'll tell you what it's not going to be, a tickling contest." And he'd look over at the British press, give us a little wink, and go, "Yeah." And he did it, I'm sure he did it just to make us laugh.
Richard Askham there with one of the many tributes today to Ricky Hatton, who died yesterday at the age of 46. And as I said earlier, our thoughts are with his family and many friends. you can listen again to an episode of Hometown Heroes, which is all about Ricky Hatton. It's on BBC Sounds. It looks at the influence of his Manchester upbringing, which Anthony was touching on, wasn't he, in the interview that we did on Ricky's life and career. That's Hometown Heroes, and you can find it if you search on BBC Sounds. Now, here are some of the other stories that people are reading this evening from BBC News. And the southern part of the Isle of Man's Mountain Road closed this morning for 5 weeks. They're doing drainage and resurfacing work. 500 tradespeople volunteered to build an extension to the Joshua Tree in Northwich for this year's DIY SOS Children in Need's Big Build. The charity helps families affected by childhood cancer. And Manchester's Co-op Live Arena has been chosen to host the MOBO Awards in March next year. It's the first time the event celebrating black music and culture has been held in the city. Find out more, bbc.co.uk/local news, or of course, as always, you can have a look on the BBC News app. It was, as you will have heard, a night to remember for the Northwest in Los Angeles last night. Owen Cooper from Warrington, the 15-year-old star of the Netflix drama Adolescence here, was up on the stage with his trophy to celebrate becoming the youngest male winner of an Emmy Award. And the Kirby man who wrote Adolescence, Stephen Graham, was also a winner. Zoe Toes reports.
One of the biggest nights in television, with stars from across the world. Amongst them, a local lad from Warrington, earning his place in the history books.
Owen Cooper, Adolescence.
At just 15 years old, Owen Cooper has become the youngest male actor to win an Emmy for his first ever on-screen role in the Netflix drama Adolescence.
Standing up here is just, wow, it's just so surreal. Tonight proves that if you listen and you focus and you step out your comfort zone, you can achieve.
Back in the Northwest, Owen's former football club, Warrington Rylands, couldn't be prouder.
He's just a normal, down-to-earth kid, and to see him on stage, you know, winning his award, it's unbelievable. You know, just massive credit to, you know, him, his family and the people that have supported him in the journey that he's on. And we like to think we're a small part of that as well in his development as a kid coming through the ranks.
We have that many kids coming through here, and there's so much talent in all these kids, and it's great that you got the platform to build on, and I think it's a big push for that sort of stuff within this town, and hopefully he's one of many kids that come from this town that do set the world on fire with stuff that they're doing.
And his drama teacher, who said she always knew he had something special.
There was always something about Owen. It's hard to describe sometimes what qualities you're looking for, but it's something about him. Your eyes are drawn to him. He's a really natural performer.
The limited series Adolescence all but swept the board, winning 8 Emmys in total. Merseyside-born Stephen Graham also picked up an award for lead actor in the limited series.
This kind of thing doesn't normally happen to a kid like me. I'm just a mixed race kid from a block of flats in a place called Kirby. So for me, to be here today in front of my peers and to be acknowledged by you is the utmost humbling thing I could ever imagine in my life, and it shows you that any dream is possible.
Owen is due to return from the bright lights of LA tomorrow, where friends and family will be eagerly waiting his return and wondering what's next for the talented young actor. Zoe Toes, BBC Northwest Tonight.
Fantastic evening for them. Stephen Graham could barely hold all these Emmys, could he? Got 3 of them he was trying to cling on to. Right, let's move on to sport. Ian is here. And we've already talked a lot about Ricky Hatton, Ian. Before the Manchester derby, he was a lifelong City fan, of course. There was a moment where red and blue came together to pay tribute to him. He would have enjoyed the result, though, for sure.
Yeah, it was a really poignant day at City, as you say, Roger. And though football seems of little importance at such a time, there's no doubt Ricky Hatton would have approved of the performance from his beloved club, who looked a bit more like the Manchester City we've come to know in a 3-0 win. Erling Haaland there scoring twice. As for United, well, the pressure really is on Ruben Amorim, the manager at the moment, surely growing. Elsewhere, a Hannibal handball gifted Liverpool an injury-time penalty at Burnley, which Mo Salah scored. Everton, meanwhile, missed some decent chances as they drew 0-0 with Aston Villa. Both Manchester City and Liverpool are back in Champions League action this week, incidentally. Well, in the Women's Super League, our only weekend winners were Manchester City and Manchester United, who yesterday made it 2 wins from 2 as they beat London City Lionesses 5-1. Jess Park with the final goal. United host Brann in the second leg of their Champions League qualifier on Thursday. In the EFL this weekend, Blackburn Rovers got a valuable win at Watford thanks to Ryohei Morishita and a goal on his full Championship debut. In League One, Wigan Athletic beat Doncaster 3-0, Fraser Murray sealing a very good win there. Salford City are up to third in League Two after a 3-1 win at Shrewsbury, while Accrington Stanley are off the bottom after a 1-0 win over Colchester. Now, last season we were at Wembley with Oldham Athletic as they were promoted back to the EFL after 3 years in the National League. After a couple of defeats and a few draws, Latics finally got their first win of the season a week ago. On Saturday, we went to Boundary Park to see if they could make it 2 in a row. Oldham Athletics' start to life back in EFL League Two has been solid, if not spectacular. But last week's win at Cambridge was just what the team and the fans needed.
We've been playing really good football, I think, generally, but we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, and it was just great, such a relief.
And as supporters arrived at Boundary Park on Saturday, they were hoping for more of the same.
Yeah, Oldham are doing good. We need a few strikers, don't we?
What about you, Messi?
I'm retired now. I retired from Argentina.
But they have got this man, Michael Mellon, son of manager Mickey, the Burnley loanee, scored the winner on debut last week.
You've got Michael Mellon on your back already. He's become a hit very quickly, hasn't he?
Oh, he certainly has. He's a fan hero. Certainly scoring on his debut, making a big impact for the club.
Like father, like son, do you like his dad too?
He took us to Wembley for the first time in over 30 years. Yeah, history for the club, and I hope he stays.
We're coming along. It's a steady progress, I think.
You've got North West United here today. That's a lucky charm.
Oh, yes, could be. Yeah.
It's not a lucky charm, I was just saying that. It's probably a curse, if anything. Right, I want a score prediction for today. That's all I want.
1-0 to us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The last time these two sides met was in the National League a couple of seasons ago. Much has changed for both clubs since then. It'll be a tough game for Oldham, this one. Bromley have yet to lose this season. Could today be the day? Hopefully so. Well, what do you know? It was obvious from kick-off that Oldham are a side rapidly growing in confidence and overall looked the better side on the day. No goal this week from Michael Mellon, though he came close.
On loan from Burnley, almost scoring.
At half-time, though, it was still goalless, and Bromley certainly had their moments in the second period, but the home side kept pushing and 8 minutes from time got the winner.
Time is ticking. In it goes! This time for Mike Fondop.
Things are looking good, aren't they?
Yeah, we believe we've been playing well for a while now. It was just about getting first goals or getting goals that we were probably lacking, but the performances have been very good. We knew that eventually we would get what we deserved, and we look like we're doing that now.
Owner Frank Rothwell for once wasn't there. He was at a steam fair.
I'm absolutely elated, and I bought some spanners, Luke. I bought some spanners on the stall at the steam fair, and I'm over the moon, and we've got 3 points. Absolutely brilliant.
Oldham Athletic are up to 14th in League Two.
Well, like a cracking set of spanners, those, didn't they? In Super League, there were wins for Wigan Warriors and Lee Leopards over the weekend. And news this afternoon that Oldham, who we did a series of features on last season, have formally applied to be included in next season's expanded 14-team Super League. Widnes Vikings here have also applied. They're currently 7th in the Championship, Oldham are 4th. Unfortunately, Lancashire's T20 Blast hopes ended in the semis on finals day. They lost to Somerset by 23 runs at Edgbaston, meaning their quest to win the competition for a second time will now continue into an 11th year. Meanwhile, the rain prevented any play between Lancashire and Middlesex today on day one of their County Championship Division 2 match at Emirates Old Trafford. They'll have to try again tomorrow, Rog.
They will, although it doesn't sound too good from what Kay was suggesting at the start of the programme. Ian, thank you. I love Frank's spanners as well. Terrific, weren't they? Thank you very much. Ian with the sport for us tonight. Kay will be here in just a moment. Over the past few weeks, though, if you've been watching, you'll know that we've been meeting some of the people and animals, keep watching, which are making a difference in their communities across the North West. The Make a Difference Awards are organised by the region's BBC local radio stations, and 3 of them held their glittering awards events at the weekend. We've already been to the Emmys. The Emmys have got nothing on this. Here are the Make a Difference Awards. Take a look.
Such a privilege to get something like this.
It's awesome. I can't believe it.
It's fantastic. It really is.
this, you know, this will really promote it and will help people hear about it.
Our ambition is to green one space at a time to make Newton Heath a greener place and a better place to live.
And so many people doing wonderful things in their local community, and you just don't expect it to be your name.
This group is not just about actually having fun, it's our kind of emotional support and well-being.
Really well done to everybody who was nominated, everyone, of course, who won as well. If you were watching last week, you'll know that I mentioned that Kay was off in the Isle of Man filming. Not to be easily bribed, I noticed you've got a new place on the weather map this week, which, ooh, it's on the Isle of Man. Was someone nice to you?
And one of my Weather Watch pictures is, ooh, on the Isle of Man. I feel like I'm going to go throughout this forecast as if I work for Welcome to the Isle of Man, because I loved it. It was stunning, Roger.
So look forward to seeing the fruits of your labours.
Yes, and have a little look on the map to find out where the next place is, Peter. Thank you. Now then, today, windy. It's been very windy. Gusts, particularly for coastal parts around Blackpool, Morecambe, of above 50 miles per hour. And we've had some really heavy downpours as well, so scenes much like this one. Thank you for sending your photographs in. You can always follow me on socials, or better yet, become a BBC Weather Watcher and let me know what it's like in your part of the world. Now, for tomorrow, it is still going to be a windy start to the day, but as we head through the day, the winds will start to ease down. If only I had some graphics to show you. There you go, they've loaded. Now then, it'll be a showery start, cloudy too, and windy, but it will turn brighter and drier as we head through the evening, temporarily though. Now, if I move my big head, you can see Nyarble Beach, Peter's favourite place. I went to visit, I absolutely loved it, it was stunning. Now, showers around though tonight. Perhaps not on the Isle of Man, but further towards Lancashire, Cumbria, some heavy downpours overnight, strong and gusty winds still, temperatures down to between 12 and 14 degrees. So it will be a poor start to the day. But tomorrow, as we head into the afternoon, we'll see that cloud thinning and breaking. The showers start to push away and we should see a lot of dry and fine weather. Sunshine could turn hazy just before it sets. And the winds, albeit still breezy, nowhere near as strong as today. A high of around 16, 17, in some spots we'll get 18 degrees. The next area of low pressure starts to sweep in as we head overnight into Wednesday. So at this stage, Wednesday's a poor start. So rush hour, a lot of heavy rain around, strong winds as well. It will clear through as we head through Wednesday, though. So brightening up first on the Isle of Man and then across all parts, and we should see a relatively fine afternoon, plenty of sunshine out and about. It still will be blustery. Top temperatures in the sunshine get to about 19 degrees, and then it stays rather breezy towards the end of the week. That's your forecast.
Didn't look too bad on Wednesday for a day on Nyarble Beach.
Nyarble, I loved it. It was so good. I've been swimming off Ramsey, Port Erin.
Very nice. So we look forward to watching that. Kay, thank you. Steve's here with the late news for you at 10:30. But from all the 6:30 team, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great evening.
Take care.
Bye-bye.